Okay, I've started the recording here. I would kindly ask you guys to mute your mics just for a little bit. We can discuss a little bit later so that I can just make a small presentation before we start. All right, so we are now in our semester 2, right? And in our semester 2, I know you guys are from different degrees, right? Some of you are doing Bachelor of Business Administration. Some of you are doing Bachelor in Financial Management. Some of you are doing marketing, digital marketing, some are doing IT, some are doing public admin, and etc. But there are a couple of courses that you all, despite your different degrees, you do together. And one of those courses is called Financial Reporting and Analysis. And then the other course is called Economics 1B. Right. So you notice that those two courses, usually almost every student is going to be doing that course. Right. And then there are other courses that you might do differently. So for example, some will do functional areas of management, some will do fundamentals of business management, some will do project scope and scheduling, some will do introduction to financial accounting, some will do information systems, some will do public admin 1B, informatics 1B, and etc. Right. So there are a lot of different courses that you might be doing. Some will be similar, some will be different. But from our point of view as Varsity Unlimited Tutors, there are certain courses that we always provide, right? Despite some of the courses that we might not provide. So I just want to focus a little bit on the courses that we provide in terms of our tutorial services, and then also highlight on the courses that we don't provide in terms of what? In terms of our tutorial services, right? And then once I'm done with that, then I'll go a little bit into detail in terms of what to expect during the semester, right? So we are going to be providing the following tutorials, right? Remember, what are providing are extra tutorials, right? That you can help you guys get a distinction, can help you guys make sure that you pass and end up not wasting your money at the what? At the end of the day in terms of registration with the university. Right. So we are going to be providing financial reporting and analysis. We are going to be providing introduction to functional areas. We are going to be providing economics 1B, which is also known as fundamentals of macroeconomics. Right. We are going to be providing informatics 1B, project scope and scheduling, introduction to information systems, introduction to financial accounting, and business communication. So those are the main courses where we will provide you guys with tutorials from the beginning of the semester, that is now, right, up until the end of the semester, that is in November. So we'll have a weekly lesson for each and every one of the modules that are listed here, right? So if a module is not listed here, it means that we don't have normal tutorials for that module. However, assistance is still available. So for example, modules such as public admin 1B, right? We might not have normal tutorials for that module, but assistance will be available. Other modules include those that by those guys in digital marketing, for example. There are certain courses that they do that we don't provide tutorials for. But like I said, if we don't provide tutorials for it, it does not mean you cannot get assistance. You can still get assistance. It's just that it's now one-on-one assistance. It's no longer the assistance that we're providing as a group like we usually do. But these are the courses that we'll be providing assistance with. So I will post a timetable later tonight for all of these different courses. But in general, you should expect, that is starting from Monday next week, you should expect to have lessons for financial reporting every Monday. You should expect to have lessons for introduction to functional areas every Tuesday. You should expect to have lessons for economics 1B every Wednesday. Then Thursdays, it will be informatics, then also project scope on Thursdays. And then on Fridays, there will be introduction to information systems. And then on Sundays, there will be introduction to financial accounting. And then business communication, I will advise the date for this particular course. The tutor that is going to take you through this particular course, he has not yet confirmed the exact date that he'll be able to do it. So I will advise in due course, I think maybe in the next 2 or 3 days. I'm still just talking to him. So these courses, you're going to have different tutors, just like we did last semester. You remember I was taking 2 modules last semester, and then a couple of my other tutors were helping you guys with different modules, right? So I will be taking accounting, that is financial reporting and analysis. That will be the module that I'll be teaching myself. because I'm very good at this particular module. Then for those of you that did business maths last semester, you remember Muzi. Muzi will be taking you guys through our introduction to functional areas of management. That's one of his specialties. So we'll be taking you through that. Then we've got a professor, Professor Fortune. He will be taking you guys through Economics 1B. So I will not be the one taking you guys through Economics 1B, but it will be Professor Fortune. But that's his specialty, because Economics 1B, there are certain calculations and certain graphs that I'm not the best person to be tutoring on. So he will be the one who will be taking you guys for Economics 1B. Don't be worried, he's very good at what he does. Right. Then Informatics 1B, you had Tino last semester, you continue. Then Project Scope and Scheduling, there will be a bit of some calculations in Project Scope and Scheduling. So we're going to change the tutor to Mr. Jacob. I'll introduce him. Then Information Systems, it will be Tino. You did digital transformation with him. And then Professor Fortune will also take you guys through Introduction to Financial Accounting. That is for the accounting students, the ones that are doing the degree in accounting. He will also take you through that one. Then our business communication, we've got a doctor, it's Dr. Nedzi. I'm expecting him to just confirm his availability. He had confirmed that he would take the class, but I just wanted to confirm the date that he will be doing the class on, and then I'll give you guys the date. So those are the different tutors that will be taking you through the different classes. But like I said, each and every one of those tutors, I will introduce them to you guys. And then if there are any problems with any specific tutor, please always feel free to highlight to me that we are having a problem with this specific tutor, so that I can make sure that the classes go as planned all the time. So it's just the same approach that we're using last semester. That's the same approach that we'll be using this semester. So now let me go through a little bit of the detail, right? In case maybe you are new, you didn't join us last semester, and you want to know exactly how do we take you guys through the classes. So that's what I'm going to do right now. Just give me a second here. All right, so I'll use financial reporting and analysis as an example, right? Because that's the course that I'll be taking you through. But what I'm going to highlight here applies to each and every one of the different courses that we will take you through. But I'm using this as as an example, because that's the one that I will be lecturing myself. All right. So as usual, these are the different packages that you can get, right? The first package is whereby you just want assistance with the assignments or with the KCQs. We have that package. It's a bit expensive. I usually don't recommend it because I want you guys to also learn. But if you say, look, I don't want the lessons, I just want someone to help me with the KCQs and etc., it's available, right? The second package is the one which, like we were doing last semester, the one that I highly recommend. Because what we simply do in the second package, which is package number 2, which is going for 800 Rand per each module, is you get lessons, you get tutorials, you get tips on assignments, you get exam preparation, that you also get one-on-one assistance with your assignment if you need it. But it's not necessary, because remember, we would have already done it together as a class. But even if you say, look, can we go the extra mile? Can I get a little bit of one-on-one on my KCQs and whatnot? You also get that type of assistance. But that's the package that I usually recommend, because it gets you almost everything except the exam. It gets almost you everything. We prepare you for the exam, we take you through the modules, we go through examples together, we give you templates that you can use in the exam, and etc. And you'll notice that I think there's a picture that I sent you guys, where you were seeing some feedback for some students that I took through the semester last semester, and they all got distinctions, right? Specifically, it was not a big class. I think there were about 18 students that I was teaching FRA last semester, but they all got distinctions, right? Because it's something that we take you through. It's something that we take you through process by process, step by step, to ensure that you understand the content of your study module. And that is the reason why I particularly recommend package number 2, because I know it helps you. You are not just getting a tutor to do something for you, but you are getting someone who takes you through the whole process from the beginning to the end, so that you gain knowledge on your on your subject, right? Then what essentially are you going, how essentially are we going to be doing it? So I'm now emphasizing on package number 2, which I said is what I usually recommend. right? So the first thing is for FRA, for example, you are going to have 3 free introduction classes. Right. For FRA, you're going to have 3 introduction classes. Some of the other modules, you might not have 3 introduction classes. This is specifically for FRA that I'm highlighting. Some modules, you have 2 introduction classes. Some modules, you only have 1 introduction classes. But for FRA, for financial reporting and analysis, there will be 3 introduction classes that will be for free. So the first introduction class will be this Saturday. The second one will be, I think it's on Monday. Right, then the third one will be next month. So those will be the only 3 free classes that you get for financial reporting and analysis. Then for the other modules, like I said, you might get 2 classes for free. You might get 1 class for free, just to introduce you to the to the module. Then in addition to the free class, you will get lessons on all the different units. So for example, if you're looking at financial reporting and analysis, you've got 5 units in financial reporting and analysis, right? So there's the introduction, then there is the statements for the sole trader, statements for the partnership, statements for the company, and then there's the ratios, right? So we are going to go through all of the different units and we're going to work them through together. Right. Then in addition to that, I'll be giving you guys homework in the form of past exam papers. Because when you're doing financial reporting analysis, for example, the emphasis that I will actually use is past exam revision. Because the lecturer is very straightforward for financial reporting analysis. He will give you 5 questions, and those 5 questions, I can already predict what they are. So we'll be doing a lot of homework, and I'll give you solutions to the homework. Where you're facing any problems, you can we can revise together in the class. So that by the time we get to the end of the semester, you'll be a machine. You will know how to do it yourself in terms of answering those particular questions. Then at the end of the semester, I'll also provide you memos of at least 3 past exam papers, and we'll also go through them in the class together, right? Then lastly, tips and guidance, right? Remember, the package, like I said, if you want extra, like you're saying, look, I'm stuck with my KCQ, even after we're done them together, I can help you within this particular package. So you don't need to worry about your KCQ also, because we are going to do them together in a class setup to make sure that you know what the answers are, so that you also get 100% on your assignments. Because at the end of the day, what I need you guys to get distinctions. So I'll make sure that your assignments are 100%, and I'll make sure that you are prepared for the exam at the end of the semester. And I know accounting can be very daunting, but like the picture, if you check that picture that I showed you, you can see that it's a group. It's not one person that I was helping, it's a whole group of students that I was taking through classes, and they were able to get distinctions. So it's very, very possible for you to get a distinction in accounting, as long as you follow through what we are going to do. You will notice after we've done our first 3 classes, you actually notice that you can actually do these things, and they will be very, very straightforward. It's just that there's a particular way of teaching that I usually use in accounting, which I know will work wonders for you guys. Right. So that's in terms of the what? That's in terms of the packages and whatnot, right? So just like I said, in case you did not join us last semester, that's why I'm highlighting some of these things, right? In case you did not join us last semester. So remember, you have got 2 KCQs, right? And you have got an exam. So you've got 3 assessments, 2 KCQs, KCQ1, KCQ2, and an exam. Just like you did last semester for each and every module that you're going to do. So don't worry about the modules that are here. Maybe they're not matching yours. Like I said, you do different modules. For now, I'm talking about financial reporting and analysis. That's what I'm talking about, right? So what we're going to do, like I said, if we go into unit number 1, in unit number 2 and unit number 3, there are certain things that are common in those units. So our starting point will be a little bit of the theory, which I will talk a little bit about today, and also on Saturday, I'll cover a little bit of the what? Of the theory. Then on Monday, we actually start with the calculations. We actually start with what is called the income statement. That is on Monday. So Monday, we're going to do the income statement. And then next week, Monday, we are now going into revision for the income statement, which means that you already know how to prepare the income statement. Even if the exam comes, let's say next week on Tuesday, I can tell you you're going to get 20 out of 20 on the question for the income statement, because we would have shown you how to do it, and we go through revision together. We give you a little homework, you go and try together, and I'll show you where the pitfalls and where the different things are, right? So that you are prepared for what? For that at the end of the semester. Right. So we are going to go through together the assignment, the first KCQ, that is 5 September. We're going to go together through the second KCQ, that is 27 September. And then I'll prepare you after the KCQs are done. I'll start doing past exam paper revisions with you guys so that you make sure that when the exam comes, you are ready for it. Then whenever there's load shedding, whenever I might not be able to do a class, right? Usually I don't cancel classes, it's very rare, but whenever I'm not able to do a class, there are pre-recorded videos that are already available and that I will make as the semester goes to address you guys whenever I'm not able to make a class, whether it's due to load shedding or whatever personal reasons. So you don't need to worry that there might be weeks that I'm not there. Every week there will always be material that is available, whether it's a live recording like we're doing today, or let's say maybe there's a problem, there will be a pre-recorded class that you receive. Then in addition to the videos, you will get PowerPoint slides, you will get templates, like templates of how to complete answers and whatnot. That will help you even in the exam. Some will be in Word, some will be in PowerPoint, and etc. Just to make sure that you are adequately prepared for the exam at the end of the semester. So I think that basically covers the structure of how we are going to do things. Now, before I get a little bit into financial reporting and analysis itself, right? Because I know some of you might not be doing financial reporting analysis and you might not be interested in what I'm going to say now afterwards, because now I'm going to be a little bit into financial reporting analysis. Let me open this up to any questions that you guys might have before I talk more about financial reporting and analysis. Are there any questions that you guys might have for me before I proceed on financial reporting analysis specifically?
Hi, James. Thank you. Do you perhaps know around about when will the results be released?
Usually it's the first week of August. It's either the last day of the year. You see next week when it says next week, what is it next week? Let's see. Next week, that's July, August. Next week, 31 Monday. So I'm expecting that the results will be released between 31 July and 5 August. That week, that's when I'm expecting. But you know, it's Mankosa. Sometimes they can disappoint you. Sometimes they can disappoint you. But I'm expecting that within that week, the results should be out, or even earlier if they finish their marking earlier. But usually within that week, the results will be out.
Okay, thanks.
All right, sure. Any other questions? Any other questions before I speak specifically on financial reporting and analysis? So like I said, what I've just highlighted basically covers all of the different modules in terms of the structure of how we do things. But now I want to go into what I will be tutoring you guys, which is financial reporting and analysis. So if there are no questions at this juncture, if you are not doing financial reporting analysis, I think the only people that don't do financial reporting analysis are the guys that do introduction to financial accounting, the guys that are doing the accounting degree. Those are the only ones that don't do financial reporting analysis. You are free to log out if you want. But even if you stay, it's still, because it's the same. Financial reporting analysis and introduction to financial accounting, they're almost the same thing. There are just slight differences here and there. So you're free to stay behind, even if you want to go forward. But I just want to introduce what accounting is all about. All right, so let's see. Let's talk. All right. Okay, Zoom. There you go. So this is your like an outline. You start the outline of what you're expected to learn for financial reporting and analysis during the semester. So the first thing will be understanding financial statements, right? Which is your unit number 1, right? And then unit number 2, you'll be looking at what is called a sole proprietorship. A sole proprietorship, it is a company or a business. Let's not use the term company. It is a business that is owned by one individual. That is what a sole proprietorship is. It's a business that is owned by a sole trader or by one individual, right? And then unit number 3, we go to what are called partnerships. So partnership is whereby if there are 2 or more people that own a particular business but have not made that business a company, right? So it is not a company, it is just a normal business, but it is owned by 2 or more people who if jointly are managing that particular business. So that's a partnership. And then unit number 4, we go into companies. Now, companies are those ones that are now registered, right, with the CIPC in South Africa, right? Those are companies. They can be private companies or public companies, doesn't matter, but we go into companies. Then lastly, after I've gone through all of them, we go into what is called analysis of financial statements. So this is actually very important for those of you that want to become managers one day. The last unit, unit number 5, is very, very important when you want to become a manager, because you need to be able to analyze financial information, understand financial information, dissect financial information, and make decisions on the business that you're operating in. So for today, I'm just going to briefly look at unit number 1, but then on Saturday, when we meet on Saturday evening, then we'll go a little bit deeper into the issue. But for today, I just want to give you a gist of what we want to talk about. So I'm not going to talk a lot about numbers today. It's just theory that I'm just going to talk about. So if you check in your study guides under your unit number 1, you will notice that there is a breakdown of what you're supposed to learn, right? There's introduction, role of financial statements, and users of financial statements. So those are 3 things. That's what I want to talk about, because these are generic things. This should not confuse you. These are very, very generic things that I want to talk about today. The ones that can confuse you, I'll talk about them on Saturday when we have more time and when we're a bit more settled. Then we can talk about the ones that might slightly confuse you. But for today, I just want to talk about a little things that are a little bit generic. So first thing, let's introduce what accounting is all about. Because financial reporting and analysis is basically accounting. That's what we're trying to learn. We're trying to learn about the financial statements of an organization, how they are reported, how they're analyzed, how they are communicated to different people, right? So what is accounting, or what is accounting all about, right? Or what is FRA, as we normally know it, all about? So it is about the process whereby we measure, process, and communicate information, right? When we say we are measuring information, we are asking yourself that as a manager at a particular company, you're asking yourself, how many rands came into the company in a particular week? You are measuring how many rands came into the company at a particular week. Or how many rands did I pay in the form of wages, in the form of rentals, in the form of raw materials, etc. Right? So that's the measurement part. Right? You are looking at your figures, you're making them numerical, and you're measuring them for the purposes of knowing what your outflows and what are your inflows for a particular for a particular business. Once you have measured this information, you then process it. Right? You then You then process it. Processing information is you're looking at your inflows, you're looking at your outflows, and you're determining what does it mean. Did I make a profit or did I make a loss? Did I have a positive cash surplus or did I have a negative cash surplus? What is my liquidity position within the company? Right? You're now processing the various financial and non-financial information that you have measured for your specific organization. Then once you're done with that, you then communicate. Communication is you are taking the information that you have measured, you are taking the information that you have processed, and you are packaging it in a particular way and distributing it to the various users of financial information, right? You're giving the information to your employees, you're giving the information to your managers, you're giving the information to your shareholders, you're giving the information maybe to SARS, to the government for tax purposes. So that is communication, right? So that's what accounting is all about. That's what we're going to be teaching you throughout the whole semester. How do you measure financial information? How do you process financial information? And how do you communicate it in a way that people can understand the information that you're communicating at the end of the day. Now, when we are talking about financial information, or when we're talking about accounting, we divide accounting into 2 different areas, right? We divide accounting into what is called financial accounting, and we divide accounting into what is called managerial accounting, right? So financial accounting in itself, right, is a process that focuses mainly on measuring and communicating. measuring and communicating that what the information, measuring and communicating the information, measuring and communicating the information. That's what financial accounting is all about. So you notice that when we're doing financial accounting, we want to make sure that everything is standardized. The way that I measure financial information at FNB should be the same way that John measures financial information at ABSA. Should be the same way that the accountant at Capitec measures financial information. We should not have different ways of measuring financial information. Therefore, because of that, you notice that there are a lot of rules that are attached to financial accounting, right? Which is what we are trying to focus on right now. So there are a lot of rules that are attached to financial accounting. Why? Because the way that we measure financial information should be the same. Then number two, the fact that we are talking about measuring financial information is we are talking about the past. We are looking into what happened within the last year for this organization to operate, right? What happened in the last year for this organization to operate? We're looking, did this organization make profit? Did it make a loss? Right? What were the movements of the finances that were happening within this particular organization? So we are emphasizing on the past of the organization, right? And when we communicate this information, we are now communicating to outsiders. When we're doing financial accounting, we present, if we go on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange, for example, you will notice that companies such as Checkers and etc., they issue financial statements. They are communicating to external people. This is what our organization has done for this particular period. But financial accounting is then different from management accounting. So management accounting, you guys are going to be doing it in January. Right? When you register for second year, you're going to do management accounting. Again, I'll be teaching management accounting. So we'll be together again, right? But under management accounting now, we've said you have measured and you have communicated the information, but what then should you do as a manager? What decisions can you make? How can you improve how your organization is operating? Because you're not interested in just saying that, we made profit of 30,000. Can we improve on the profit? Why did we make 30,000? What can we do to reduce our costs? So that's what you are interested in as a manager. So you will notice that management accounting will actually be more interesting because we now be talking about how can we improve our various small businesses? Or maybe we are operating in a bigger business. How can you improve the organization that you are working with as a manager using the information that you have learned from Mancosa at the end of the day? So that's the difference between financial accounting and managerial accounting. So managerial accounting is about decision making. It is more useful to managers. It is looking at the future, right? It's no longer looking at the past. It is looking at the future, and it does not have rules. Management accounting does not have rules, whereas financial accounting has a lot of rules. So what we are doing this semester is more focused on financial accounting rather than management accounting, right? So that's just an introduction in terms of what accounting is all about. Now let's look at our first major subheading, which is the role of financial statements. So before we even talk about the role of financial statements, the question that you might be asking is, James, what are financial statements? That's what you'll be asking me. What are the different types of financial statements that an organization can have? So you guys, there are 5 types of financial statements, right? There are 5 types of financial statements. But usually for you guys, we don't focus on all of them. We usually focus on 4. But there are 5 types of financial statements. If you go on the Johannesburg Stock Exchange and you download those books that those companies issue, you will notice that there will be 5 portions of those books. So 5 financial statements, right? Each financial statement has got a responsibility or a role to the person who is reading it. So let me start with what is called the statement of comprehensive income, right? Statement of comprehensive income. That is the full name. But there are shortcuts or short names that usually we accountants, when we're talking about it, right? We can call it the income statement. We can call it the profit and loss account, or we can call it P&L account. So that is the statement of comprehensive income. So what is this thing that I'm introducing to you, which is called the statement of comprehensive income? So I want you to think, as a business, when you operate, you have operated, let's say, for the whole year, 2023, James has operated this business, right? At the end of the year, you want to know, did my business make profit, right? Was it worth it operating this business, right? How much profit did I make? So what do, right? You look at your income, right? How much income did I receive? How much did my clients pay to me? Then you look at your expenses. How much did I pay as salaries? How much did I pay as rentals? And then you calculate a profit. So that is what the profit and loss account is all about. Or that is what the income statement or statement of income, comprehensive income is all about. It is a statement that measures the financial performance of an organization over a particular period, usually 1 year. So whenever you're talking about income statement, it's usually 1 year. We are saying it's from January to December, or it is from March to February. Usually your lecturer likes March to February. So you say it's from 1 March up to 28 February the following year, right? That's what he usually likes. But sometimes it can come from January to December. It doesn't matter as long as it is 1 full year, right? So it's financial performance. Did we make a profit? Did we make a loss over a particular period of time? So that's statement number 1. So I'm going to teach you guys how to prepare this. So it means even if you have got your own small business, you should be able at the end of the year to prepare a statement of comprehensive income using what you've learned in this class. So that even if you want to prepare a business plan, maybe you want to apply a loan at the bank, you should be able to do that yourself after you've taken this course, because they want statement of comprehensive income at the bank. So you should be able to prepare it. So that's number 1, financial statement. Number 2 is what is called the statement of financial position. The statement of financial position, we usually call it the balance sheet. The reason why we call it balance sheet is because it has to balance. It has to balance. You will notice when we start doing it, but we call it the balance sheet or the statement of financial position. This one now is different from income statement. Income statement, we wanted to look at your financial position, performance, but balance sheet is we're looking at what is your value as a business at a particular date. Now, if I ignore the business, let's talk about you. If I ask you right now, what is your value as an individual? You're going to say, look, James, I've got a house that is worth maybe 1 million rand, and I've got a car that is worth maybe 500,000 rand, and I've got these little assets, some laptops and whatnot that are worth maybe 100,000 rand. So as an individual, I am worth maybe 1,600,000 rand. That's how much you're worth. But maybe you have a loan. So, James, I also owe some people 500,000 rand. So you're going to remove from your what? From your worthiness, and you're going to be left with 1.1. Right? So that's your financial position. So businesses are the same thing. We need to know what is the value of a business on a particular date. So if I go right now and ask you, what is the value, right, of FNB? What is the value of Fidelity? What is the value of all of these different businesses that are in South Africa? You can just choose whatever business that you want, but what is this value? The only way you can determine the value of that business is looking at the balance sheet, because the balance sheet will show you what are the assets of the business, right? What are the liabilities of the business? Don't worry if you don't understand some of the terms. We will discuss them on Saturday, the definitions of some of the terms. But statement of financial position is about the value of the business. So that's number 2. Comprehensive income, profit and loss, performance. Statement of financial position, what is the value of a business? The next one is called the statement of changes in equity. Statement of changes in equity is you're asking yourself, who is the owner of the business and how has their ownership changed? That's what you're asking yourself. So at the beginning of the year, right, I can invest money into a business. Let's assume that I invested 500,000 rand into a business. At the end of the year, did I still invest 500,000 rand? Did I add more money into the business, or did I take money out of the business? Did the business pay me any profits or any dividends? So that's what this one is looking at. It's looking at the capital that I invested into the business as the owner of that business, and how much money did I get out of the business, and how much money did I put into the what? Into that particular business, right? That statement of changes in equity, right? Then number 4 is the statement of our cash flows. So statement of cash flows is different from income statement. Cash flows is you're looking at the movement of money in the business, actual cash, right? The money that was in the bank. So if you had 500,000 in the bank account at the beginning of the year, and then you've got 10,000 rand at the end of the year, your question is, how did I move from 500,000 to 10,000 rand? That's what cash flows is all about. It's just following the paper trail of the money. So this one is actually very good for people that are going to go into auditing and whatnot, because it shows you where the money got out of the business and where the money got into the business. If there's any fraud that happens, you can easily catch it through the statement of cash flows, right? But the role of the statement of cash flows is to show the liquidity changes within the business. How did the cash of the business, how was it used? And how did the business gain cash during the year? Then lastly, there's what we call the notes to the financial statements. Notes to the financial statement, these are just explanations, right? So this one for you guys is not important, because this is for people that are doing accounts. Accounts. Those are the people that usually focus on this one. Notes to financial statement. It's just explanations of what your financial statements, how they were prepared, right? It's just detailed explanations of how they were prepared at the end of the day. So those are the 5 key financial statements that you need to know about. Comprehensive income, which is your profit and loss. Financial position, which is your balance sheet. Statement of changes in equity, and the cash flow statement, and then the notes. Those are the 5 statements, right? Are there any questions on the statement before I talk about the users? Are there any questions here? I believe this one should be straightforward. I don't think you guys are going to struggle with this. It's a little bit of theory, but it's straightforward theory. All right. So now that you know what these statements are, right? Your question then becomes, who is...
Hi, James.
Hello.
Can you please explain to me what is equity?
It's not for now. I'll explain it on Saturday. We'll go into detail on Saturday about that. Yes, we'll go into detail about that. So on Saturday, like I said, we're going to go into the more confusing terms of accounting. We're going to explain what is an asset. We're going to explain what is a liability. We're going to explain what is equity. We're going to explain what is profit. We're going to explain what is loss, right? We're going to introduce the accounting equation. And we're going to introduce what are called T accounts. So we're going to go into detail in terms of those things. I don't want to throw the bones at you right now and then start confusing a lot of people. But we're going to go into detail on Saturday about those definitions and whatnot. All right. So,
okay, James.
Yes.
James, I just want to know if you do change your slides, or you've been having this one slide, because maybe other people, they do see other slides. Maybe I'm the only one.
No,
looking at one slide
slide
since you've been,
no, just the slide.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Okay. Right. Thank you.
So let's go to the next one, which is users of financial information, which in a study guide, I think it's 1.3, if I'm not mistaken. Right. So when you prepare financial statements, they are used by different people in the organization. So they're what we call internal users of financial information, and they're what we call external users of financial information. Then there are some people that are under internal and also under external. It's very confusing sometimes. Right? So I'll start with the simple ones. Internal users of financial information. An employee of an organization is an internal user. Management within an organization is an internal user of financial information. Now, what do I mean by a user of financial information? Right. So, for example, an employee, right, they want to know what is the cash flow statement of the organization so that they know that their salary will be paid at the end of the month. So they are interested in the cash flow statement, because the cash flow statement shows whether the organization has got cash or the organization does not have cash. And if the organization does not have cash, then the employee knows I might not get a salary at the end of the month. Or number 2, let's say that an employee has got a job offer from 2 different companies, right? An employee would be interested in knowing my company that I'm working for, Is it going to continue operating for the next 5 years so that I can plan my retirement, I can plan my savings, I can plan, all of those different things, right? But how do they plan? If they look at your financial statements, they can see that this organization is a going concern. This organization is making profit. Therefore, I can assume that this organization will continue operating for the next 5 years. But if you see that your organization has made a loss this year, they're making a loss next year, then you become worried. You start looking for a different job. So employees of an organization want to know about their job security. So they use financial statements to determine, are they going to get their salaries? Are they going to have job security at the end of the day? Or even to negotiate, maybe they want to negotiate for a salary increase. They can use financial statements. So that's employees. Management. What about managers? Right? Managers are also internal users of information. They use financial statements to make decisions for the business. They use financial information to also negotiate for their own salaries at the end of the day, right? So managers, for example, if he looks at the financial statements and he says that the cash flow statement says that the organization does not have cash, then it means that when he's going to buy, say, raw materials for the company, he then negotiates for credit terms in order to what? In order to not use cash. Or let's assume that he sees that the sales of the organization are going down. He looks at the trend and sees that in 2020, we had 15 million in sales. In 2021, we had 14 million in sales. In 2022, we had 13 million in sales. Right. So there's been a decline in sales in the company. What does he do? He then says, we need to advertise more. So he's making a decision based on the financial information that he has been that he has been provided with. Right. So management are users of financial information. The owners of the company, if you're looking at a sole trader, for example, there are internal users of information. But if it's not a sole trader, if it is a public company, then shareholders are not internal users. They're actually external because they are not operating in the company. But if it is an owner-operated company, for example, if you operate a sponsor shop, it's your own shop. So you're an internal user because you are there every day. But if you hire someone else to run the business for you, then you are now an external user. So you can be internal, you can be external if you're an owner, right? It just depends with the structure of that particular business, right? External users. So if you're looking at external users of financial information, you are saying you can look at bankers or financiers. For example, FNB. FNB can give you a loan for your business, right? So they want your statement to see, okay, this business is applied for a loan. Okay, what profit are they making? Do they have enough money to pay the interest? Do they have enough money to actually pay us back our money? Do they have a collateral? Right? What are their assets so that they can protect this loan that they've taken? So that's a bank, right? They want to give you a loan, they will need to see your financial statements to see how you're operating as a business. Creditors and suppliers, same thing. Let's say that you want to sign an exclusive agreement to distribute maybe Tommy Hilfiger clothes in South Africa, right? The guys at Tommy Hilfiger, we want to see, is this business actually a good business? Are these guys actually operating? Are they profitable? Will they maintain? Will they be able to satisfy our customers' needs? So creditors and suppliers will also want to check your financial statement to ensure that the contracts that they're getting in with you, you will be able to support them. The government wants to know, are you making profit? Are you paying your taxes? Right? So they will also want your financial information. Auditors, they want to know, are there people stealing money at your company? Right? Are you following the regulations of the of accounting and the regulations of the government? So same thing. Investors, now these are the shareholders that are outside the company. They also want to invest into your company. So they want to look into your business before they've invested into it. So these are external people that are outside the company that are using your information as an organization, right? So this brings me to the end of what I wanted to talk about today. This brings me to an end of what I wanted to talk about today. But however, when we meet on Saturday, remember I said we are going to be meeting on Saturday, this coming Saturday, and also we're going to be meeting on Monday. right? So when we meet on Saturday, we are now going to go into actual accounting stuff, like real detailed accounting stuff. So I will be explaining what is an asset. I'll be explaining what is a liability. I'll be explaining what is equity, what are expenses, what is income, and I'll be introducing what is called the accounting equation. Right? So then we are now going to start to go into the calculations. And then when we get to Monday, we actually start preparing the income statement. So on Monday, we're actually preparing. How do I prepare an income statement? I'll actually come with the past exam paper of a question about the income statement, and we start working it together as a team. But on Saturday, we go into the basic information of accounting in terms of what are the proper definition of what is an asset, what is a liability, how do I recognize that something is an asset or something is a liability at the end of the day. Right. So I hope this, because remember this was just an introduction, I hope it was useful to you guys. I hope it added value, and I hope I'm going to see you. I hope I'm going to see you. So even if you can't afford my services, guys, attend the free classes. Attend the one on Saturday, attend the one next week, and attend the one that we're going to do, I think, on 31. Attend them, so that at least you gain something. Out of the 100 marks, you at least know that there's one question in the exam that I'm going to ask, because James was able to help me out with that with that particular question, right? So that's my information for you guys. Then, like I said, there are free classes that will be happening throughout the following week up until the 1st of August. So there'll be free classes almost on a daily basis, except tomorrow, right? So there'll be a free class on Saturday, financial reporting analysis. There'll be a free class on Sunday. I think there will be economics on Sunday, if I'm not mistaken. I'll show you the timetable later or on the groups. There will be free class on Monday, Tuesday, whatnot, until the end of the week. So please make sure that you attend those classes. They will benefit you, even if you're not interested in paying for the services. Feel free to attend. Feel free to attend so that you at least get something out of it. Then, are there any questions for me before we dismiss each other for today? Are there any questions for me?
Yes, James.
Yes, go ahead.
So when can we expect the timetable and the time for Saturday and Sunday?
For the time will be 7 p.m. The time will be 7 p.m. for Saturday and Sunday. The time will be 7 p.m. So there will be lesson Saturday, there'll be lesson at 7 p.m. Sunday, there'll be lesson at 7 p.m. Monday, there'll be lesson at 7 p.m. Tuesday, there'll be lesson at 7 p.m. The Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, I'll confirm. But for the rest of up until the 1st of August, there should be a lesson almost on a daily basis, a free class almost on a daily basis, just to introduce ourselves and the different tutors that will be help you. But I will post the official timetable. But for now, take note, on Saturday, we are doing financial reporting and analysis. For your planning purposes, on Saturday, financial reporting and analysis. Then on Sunday, I believe it will be economics free class. There will be an economics free class on Sunday evening. But I'll post the official timetable on your various groups. Okay. Any other question? 7 p.m. 7 p.m. Any other questions?
Oh, James.
Yes.
The last question, the process, how do we reach you? How do we get your service?
Okay.
You send information or?
Okay, so what I'm going to do is, because my assumption is most of you guys have already dealt with me before, so you already have my banking details and whatnot, but I will resend my banking details in the group. I will resend my banking details in the group for those of you that are interested. But feel free, you don't need to rush to pay. You can message me and then I can confirm the banking details for you in case you know people, there are scammers out there. So you can message me, I can confirm the banking details for you. But my banking details is VUT Learning Center. It's an FNB account. VUT Learning Center. That's my account, VUT Learning Center. For those of you that have dealt with me before, you already have the account. For those of you that are new, you can message me. My number is, let me show you. I think I have it here. For those of you that are new. Okay, let's see, where is my number here? Okay. Yeah, let's give me a second. I hope you can see that one, 071 3000 634. The name is James from Varsity Unlimited Tutors. 071300634. That's my number. 071300634. And like I said, the cost for each module that you want to join, it's 800 Rand per semester. You are free to pay in installments. Just like you were doing last semester, you're free to pay in installments. If you say, James, I can afford to say 200 right now at the end of July, another 200 in August, another 200 in September, another 200 in October, that's fine with me. That's fine. You can do installments. Right, but it's 800 for each module that you're interested in. Then I showed you guys a list of the different modules that we are doing actual lectures for. So please, in case maybe you missed it, let me share it again. Okay. Because there are some modules where I can assist you for your assignments and your KCQs and whatnot, but I don't have lectures for some of the modules. The ones that I have lectures for, where's this thing? Sorry. Share screen. Where is it? Okay, there you go. The ones that are your full lectures where we teach you each and every week, it's financial reporting and analysis, introduction to financial areas of management, economics 1B or fundamentals of macroeconomics, informatics 1B, project scope and scheduling, introduction to information systems, introduction to financial accounting and business communication. Any module outside of this, I might not have a class, but I can still help. You can give me a message or a call and I will highlight how I can help. But I might not have normal classes like I have here, but we'll still be able to help you. All right. Any other questions?
Thank you, James.
I thank you, James.
All right, sure. So if there are no questions, guys, I hope you have a pleasant week. We shall see each other on Saturday. Please come through on Saturday so that we can start together. So we don't have to repeat some of these things, so that we can just start together at the same page. Then if you can't attend the lesson, like there are always recordings. We record every class that we do together. So if you cannot attend the lesson, the recording will be available for you. We usually send it onto our YouTube channel and send it to you guys. So hope you have a pleasant evening. We shall see each other on Friday, on Saturday. Good night.
Bye, James.
Bye-bye.
Bye, James.
Bye.
That's it. All right. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, Temple.
Hey,
Hi, guys.
Chapana.
I'm gonna hit someone like you
Bye.
yesterday from Metro FM.
I was
think it's
worried.
We are here. We are back. The children of James are back.
Oh yes.
Oh, yeah.
Bye guys.
Bye, James.
Okay,
Bye, guys.
Bye James. Bye.